One of the most unsettling scenes we've ever seen was now shown by fresh released video. In a hotel hallway, Dahntay Jones was seen on camera carrying out a repulsive ritual. Now, the former NBA champion's entire legacy may have been ruined by that clip. Let me explain. The basketball community was outraged by the repulsive rite. Perhaps one of the most weird, repulsive, and reputation-damaging events in recent NBA history is what I'm going to discuss today. This has nothing to do with court performance, disagreements over contracts, or even legal issues. No, this has entirely changed our perception of a former NBA champion and current assistant coach because it involves something so incredibly surprising. We're referring to Dahntay Jones, a renowned defensive specialist who played for 13 seasons in the NBA, made a smooth transition to coaching with the Los Angeles Clippers, and appeared to be establishing a strong post-playing career. Jones once stood on the biggest stage in basketball, holding an NBA championship trophy alongside LeBron James in 2016. When hotel surveillance footage that would make your stomach turn and make you reevaluate all you believed you understood about professional conduct came to light in July 2025. However, everything changed. Even seasoned basketball fans who had seen the entire video were rendered speechless by its genuinely unsettling content, which would go on to garner over 4.8 million views on social media. Before we get into the specifics of what transpired, I can assure you that the details are both unsettling and unbelievable. Let's pause to consider Dahntay Jones's identity prior to this episode, which fundamentally altered his public persona. Jones, who was born in Trenton, New Jersey on December 27, 1980, had what many would consider a prosperous basketball career. Although he was by no means a superstar, he was the kind of player that every championship team needs, a tough, defensive-minded veteran who knew his job and did it flawlessly. Jones played his freshman year at Rutgers University before moving to Duke University, marking the beginning of his NBA career. During his time at Duke, he averaged 11.2 points and 4.2 rebounds per game, helping the Blue Devils win the 2001 NCAA championship. The Boston Celtics selected him 20th overall in the 2003 NBA draft as a result of his collegiate achievements, but he was dealt to the Memphis Grizzlies almost away. A 13-year NBA career that embodied the term journeyman ensued. Jones had stints with the Memphis Grizzlies, Denver Nuggets, Indiana Pacers, Dallas Mavericks, Atlanta Hawks, Los Angeles Clippers, and Cleveland Cavaliers, among 8 other organizations. Throughout his career, he averaged just 5.4 points and 1.7 rebounds per game. So he wasn't very impressive, but he was dependable, tough, and the kind of player that coaches adore having on their team. Jones's playing career reached its zenith in 2016 when he joined the Cleveland Cavaliers for their historic run to the title. Jones was instrumental in the Cavaliers' historic three-pointer in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, scoring 5 points in just 5 minutes and earning 2 vital fouls on Draymond Green. One victory over the Golden State Warriors. It was an occasion that ought to have shaped his legacy. On the biggest stage in basketball, a seasoned role player is taking center stage to help Cleveland win its first title in 52 years. Jones appeared to be smoothly moving into the next stage of his career after he announced his retirement from tennis in 2017. In November 2020, he began working as a player development and video coach with the Los Angeles Clippers, eventually rising to the position of assistant coach. His co-workers commended his wisdom and ability to relate to players, with head coach Tyrone Lue citing Jones's likening of young player Terrence Mann to Jimmy Butler as proof of his coaching prowess. Jones wasn't solely focused on basketball, though. In addition, he had dabbled in business, holding the position of managing director at Pearl Homes, a firm that specialized in smart home communities that promote sustainability. He had demonstrated his dedication to creating a life outside of basketball by taking part in Harvard Business School's NBA crossover program. Both his NBA revenues and his astute business investments contributed to his reported $10 million net worth. This man appeared to have it all figured out. He was a well-respected former athlete who had achieved great success, a coach who was helping young athletes, a businessman who was considering the future, and a community activist who had collaborated with groups like Habitat for Humanity and Make-A-Wish. His life was characterized by tenacity, diligence, and astute judgment. Then everything changed in July 2025. Jones was obviously unaware that the incident had taken place in what looked to be a hotel hallway that was recorded by normal CCTV cameras. "We're filming." The 17.5-second video, which was initially shared on X, previously Twitter, by a user at BrickCenter, depicts Jones acting in a way that can only be described as frightening and exhibiting extremely poor judgment. It appears that Jones was traveling as an assistant coach or on a team road trip, because the video shows him entering a hotel corridor wearing what looks to be a blue Clippers jersey with the number 11. He seems oblivious to the fact that his every action is being recorded while he waits for an elevator. It's hard to explain what follows next without getting sick. It's so shocking and completely improper. However, the surveillance tape unequivocally demonstrates that the facts are what they are. Jones seems to scrape or dig deeply in his buttocks as he reaches his right hand into the rear of his trousers. After that, he extends his palm, brings it to his nose, and gives it a careful sniff. He then smears or wipes his hand on the wall next to the elevator button after this already unsettling scenario. There is absolutely no possibility of misunderstanding or other explanations because the entire process is caught in crystal clear clarity. This is not a situation where camera angles or body language could be interpreted incorrectly. What the video depicts is clear-cut. An adult man who works as a basketball coach is acting in a way that is not only extremely unsanitary, but also raises valid public health issues. The security system's timestamp overlays in the video confirm that it is legitimate hotel surveillance. There is no question as to who is in the video because Jones's identity has been verified by numerous sources based on his jersey, build, and physical attributes. The casualness of Jones's actions is what makes this occurrence even more unsettling. In addition to not seeming to be in any sort of emergency or distress, he also doesn't exhibit any awareness or care about perhaps being filmed. He proceeds with this startling series of events as though they were entirely typical, then carries on waiting for the elevator as though nothing had occurred. It is impossible to overestimate the consequences of Jones' actions on public health. By sniffing his hand, reaching down his pants, and then smearing whatever was on it onto a wall that other people might come into contact with, he might have exposed hotel employees and visitors to a range of diseases and bacteria. In a post-pandemic world, where cleanliness and hygiene are more important than ever, such behavior is not only repulsive, but also potentially harmful.